Welcome to Artist Spotlight. This is Sue Balischek here, and this edition, I'm excited to introduce a friend that has been doing this for quite some time and has some interesting stories to share with you. A female bard, yes indeed. So grab your snackies and pop a top and enjoy some insider information with Mama Gina Lamont. Woo! Yeah. Hey Gina, how are you?
I'm great, Sue. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for being with us here today.
Thanks for asking me.
Right on, right on. Yeah, so it's been a while. It's been a long winter, and I haven't seen you since when?
Oh, it's been
It's been a minute.
yeah.
Yeah, that's been a minute. Because we were doing a lot of shows together. It seemed like we were doing a lot of shows together, and all of a sudden, COVID hit, and here we are.
Yeah, that COVID thing kind of took the wind out of my sails for a little while. I don't know about you, but
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So happy that we can say the new norm is leveling out and things are kind of getting back to, we're booking shows and stuff. And how's your calendar looking this year?
well, I it's a little bit sparse this year, but it's somewhat on purpose. Last year I played in February of last year, 2022. I played my first live in front of people at a little festival thing since the shutdown in 2020. And I broke my arm,
Yes.
and it was really horrible, and it was bad enough that we weren't sure I was going to play again. And so half of 2022 was spent, recovering and physical therapy. And then I came back out on the road for just a shortened bit last year, like 4 months instead of the usual 9 months that I go on tour and never come home. And uh the heat, the Midwest heat just about killed me
Oh wow.
traveling. I decided that I am going to I where I was traveling like 9 months out of the year, I think I'm going to travel in the spring
Okay.
and mostly then in the later fall, and see how that goes. So I have some spring stuff booked, March,
Cool.
April, a little bit of May, and then I go out up into the Midwest for June. I'll be in Wisconsin for June, and
Cool.
then maybe a couple things on my way back to Florida, and then nothing until later in the year. I just traveling in the heat was doing me in. I don't know if it's my age or if it's getting hotter or what it is, but I need a break.
Yeah. Well, it's getting hotter. I believe it's getting hotter. Yeah, the sun is intense. The sun
It was.
is like it is intense. I mean, at least here anyway, in the Midwest, and I get it. Yeah, Midwest. We've had some. It's just the sun just feels hotter. Period. It does. And I think I'm gonna run into you at Chrysalis this year.
Yes, yes, I'll be there.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
Hanky's gonna be there. I think it'll be a great, great event. I'm
yeah.
looking forward to it.
Ginger's here, and she's gonna pop in. Yeah, yeah. And
Hey, Ginger.
yeah, Ginger's gonna be there too. So it'll be fun. It'll and a new location. It's gonna be cool. It sounds really like a really cool location. I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Eagle
yeah,
Cave.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so I know because we have spent some time together, we both share a commonality of what we used to do in the 80s. So let's talk about the Lounge Lizard Act. Actually, prior to Lounge Lizard, when did you start playing? And the guitar is your first and only. I know you dabble in keys and stuff too, right? Was guitar your first instrument?
My voice has always been my first instrument.
Okay, okay.
Um,
Dig, I get that.
guitar, yeah, guitar was a kind of an afterthought. I was in fourth grade. We are getting in the Wayback Machine.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was I was in fourth grade, and my sister was taking guitar lessons like after school a couple days a week. And I didn't think she was making significant progress, and I thought I could do better. And so I asked to take lessons as well.
Uh-huh.
And my first guitar, my first acoustic guitar, was bought with green stamps. I don't know if you
Oh
remember
yeah,
those
S and
days.
H. Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
bought with green stamps, and I picked it out of the catalog because the pick guard had a hummingbird on it.
Sweet.
Yeah, it was a terrible guitar. The strings were this high off the neck. Everything bled while I played. But I was in fourth grade when I started writing music. It was terrible, but I started writing music.
Awesome.
And the nuns, because I went to a Catholic all-girls school, the nuns would invite me up during, whatever time we had in front of the school in morning, like
Yeah,
morning
yeah.
session or whatever, and would invite me up on stage and ask me to play the most recent song I'd written. And the first song was about a dystopian future and this young girl, but the second song I wrote was about the Virgin Mary because I knew my audience. And
There you
I've been
go.
writing about the goddess ever since.
A true performer,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's awesome. So, okay, so prior to Lounge Lizard, then,
Yeah.
you do, were you in other bands or did you do solo work?
I never really did solo work except for early on, just doing one or two songs in front of people.
Mhm.
And that was just because I really didn't know any better. I started playing out professionally at about 16 and had a partner on stage that played. And I learned a lot through that experience. I learned a lot of what I didn't want in a partner on stage, but it was still a great experience. Lots of playing for $50 a night and all the beer and oysters I
Oh,
could
yeah,
consume. And since I was 16, there was no beer and I didn't like oysters, but I was happy to have the $50.
sure.
And then by the time I was 19, I was on the road with my first full bands
Yeah.
playing
Um,
the lounge thing. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. When you were touring full time, were you the vocalist or did you play guitar as well?
Both. I was part of a two-girl front for a couple of years, a show
Okay.
band, the
Yeah,
floor
yeah.
show bands.
Oh,
They
yeah.
they used to be really popular in hotel lounges.
Right on.
Um,
Yeah.
I did that for a couple of years and then I picked it up for another year later on down the line. But I was one of a two-girl front usually.
Okay.
And so I sang, but they encouraged us to also play a little bit. So I wound up playing some guitar on stage, my acoustic. I would pick up the keyboard player had an old Les Paul on stage, and occasionally I would pick that up and play some rhythm. They taught me enough keyboards to be able to comp some stuff during a couple of songs. They taught me how to play a simple country shuffle so that I could play behind Elvira while the guys all went up
Right
and did
on.
the shtick. So they taught me a lot in those couple of years doing show bands. I mean, I learned to, you know, at least make it look like I knew what I was doing, which was far from the truth. But people believe what their eyes tell them, and so I smiled big and played hard, man.
Right on. Yeah. Um, Speaking of Les Paul, that's electric. So you just purchased a new electric guitar, what, last year?
No, I purchased a new acoustic electric. It's
Acoustic
uh
electric.
it's an acoustic electric.
Okay.
Um it's a carbon fiber. I I kept having dreams of my beautiful Alvarez 12 string and it was disintegrating in my hand.
Oh, wow.
It was just molecules were just flying off of it,
Ah,
or I would have a dream where the neck just came off while I was playing. And I realized that was, well, it wasn't foretelling the future, it was telling me that my guitar was getting less and less happy with the conditions outside that I was playing in, and it was really stressing me out, that I was going to wind up losing that guitar to the elements.
oh,
And I started looking at the carbon fiber guitars and I decided on emeralds. And I'm telling you, this
yeah.
emerald 12 string, it's an X20 12 string. It is so incredible. The guts that are in it, the electronics that are in it, it's not an electric guitar, but the electronics that are in it are really, really nice. It's just such a beautiful instrument, and I could row a boat with it and then just and restring it and go on stage. I mean,
Nice.
it's carbon fiber, so the one thing I can't do is destroy the body. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that, but I probably won't. And I
Right?
haven't had, yeah. So my Alvarez is retired to in the studio now. It's a
Okay.
studio guitar. It's got an
Yeah.
elevated status. And the Emerald is what I play all the time now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so
Yeah.
really happy with it. Okay, let's stay rolled back for a little bit. So you started songwriting in elementary school, you said, and when did the Bard surface?
That's a great question. Um, I always wrote some. Uh, Most of it was terrible. And when my son was 14 years old, we planned a little bit of a summer tour of across some festivals. I was still working a day job at that time, but I took about 3 weeks off and we did several festivals in a row together because he was 14 and I was figuring I didn't have too many more years where he was going to be free to move about the country like that. And I took him to his first PSG, Pagan Spirit
Cool.
Gathering, and as we were packing, I looked at him after we had the whole truck packed and it was just packed full and there was no room for anything else. And I looked at him and I said, you know what? I haven't picked up my guitar in a really long time. Do you think we can find a way to squeeze in the guitar and maybe one of the djembes? And my son folds space like nobody's business. And he made all of that fit in the truck. We repacked it and fit the guitar. And I wrote that week and I started writing then. So what, that's 16 years ago.
Wow.
Started writing a lot of songs at festivals, and all of those songs came together in my first CD, Got Us Kissed, and they were all songs that I had written at festivals or about festivals. And that became the first time that this just sort of all pulled together, and I
Mm-hmm.
realized I was done playing music. I was done playing everybody else's music. I had things that I wanted to express on
Mm-hmm.
my own, and I didn't have to be in top 40 bands anymore or show bands or anything else because I'd been in bands for all those years, even working the day job.
Sure.
But yeah, about 16 years ago, I said, it's time. It's time. And I started writing for real. And I still throw out more than half of what I write. But I think it's gotten a little bit better over the years.
Yeah. Okay, so you compiled all that songwriting when you first started. So you said 16 years ago. So when was the first album released? Was
That was in 2013.
2013. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
it took a while to, find my path, find my heart, figure out
Sure.
what I was doing because I didn't know that this was going to turn into what it is.
Mm-hmm.
When I started writing those songs, I was
Mm-hmm.
playing them around campfires at festivals for people.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly I kind of looked back in 2012 and said, I got some songs here and maybe I can,
Put an album out.
share them more with people than just around the fire. And so that
Sure.
was the beginning of
Sure. Very cool.
yeah.
Yeah. So you were paralegal. That was your day gig. When
Yep.
did you decide to throw caution to the wind and say, I'm going to be a full-time artist? When did that happen?
So that happened in 2013.
That was 20.
Um
Okay.
that for 2 years before that, I started having chest pains every day, a lot.
Wow.
And it wasn't my heart. It was stress, and I'm not that person. I thought I was handling all of my stress really well, but my body was telling me that I was not. And I was holding out until my son was graduated from high school. And I almost forgot that I was supposed to go do something else at that point, that shift in our lives. You know, when he was out of high school, he wasn't ready to go to college yet. He didn't need me at home though anymore. And I traveled for years with bands before I had my son.
Sure.
And I love the road. There's not that many musicians who actually do. I thrive on the road. I actually am healthier when I'm on the road. I live better, I sleep better, I eat better, all those things, because I love the touring part of it. And when when it was mid 2013, and Jesse had just graduated, and I had completely forgotten. I was so focused on the day job and so focused on why do I have chest pains all the time, and woke up one morning to call in dead again. And I sat back and I said, I was always happy with this job. Why was I happy with it? Oh, it was because the purpose of it was to keep my son healthy and fed and roof over his head and all of that. I don't have to do that anymore. And that right there, it was the release that I needed. And I gave my notice, and I stayed about another 2 months for them to find somebody. And
Cool.
the day that I walked out of the office and onto that elevator for the last time, only on the 5th floor, I was the only one in the elevator, and the doors closed, and this black thing uncurled from inside of me and filled the elevator with all of this dark black like smoke. And then it started to clear, and by the time I got to the 1st floor, the elevator was clear. I stepped out, and I haven't had chest pain since.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So as hard as road life is, as
Yes.
difficult as it is, as financially awful as it is, I would much rather be doing this than anything else. I'd rather be making music any day, because the worst day making music is so much better than the best day in any kind of day job for me. I don't want to ever do that again.
That's cool. Yeah, great story. Great story. Yeah, yeah, I get it. I love to travel. I do. You're a Sag, aren't you? A Sagittarius?
I'm a
Yeah, yeah,
Sagittarius.
yeah. I am Pisces Sag,
There
and
you go.
yeah, so I love the road too. I do. I love, and when I feel, even having a day job, it, it's like, okay, I need to. I just love to even. I drive a half hour to work, and I love that half hour drive.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
I do. It's like I feel it's and that's why I love snow plowing, because I'm on the road, and it's just like, yeah, I just yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah. I get it.
yeah.
I totally get it. Yeah, yeah. I've always traveled too. Always, always, always traveled. So let's see. So you have a new you told me that you're cramming to get your new record. Tell us about your new record.
So the one that's coming up, the one that I'm working on now, is a travelogue. It's going to be more acoustic based. I'm getting back to my roots, more acoustic based, mostly acoustic guitar and voice and just the songs, except that I always have to, oh, this needs a bass line. Oh, this needs a little bit of drum. Oh, so
Yeah, yeah.
it's acoustic plus.
Okay.
Um the 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 title song of the CD will be Never Trust a Girl with a Guitar. Yeah. It's a travelogue. It's going to be about places I've been or traveled through that I love. Like
Cool.
there's a song on there called Tupelo. And I just finished, I haven't mixed it yet, but I just finished laying in all the parts for Hey Mr. Christopher, which is a prayer to Saint Christopher, who's not a saint anymore, right? Old Catholics, we hold onto our saints even when the Pope says they're not. And so it's a very irreverent little song about St. Christopher being the traveler's patron dude. And I just finished laying that one in. It's going to be really, really wonderful. I'm excited. I'm excited.
That's
And a big
right.
departure, because my last CD that I did in 2021 was all electronic. like
Yes.
99% electronic, She Walks the Stars, because
Yes.
it fit with what was going on with all of that songwriting. So
Right. Yeah, I was going to bring that up. I was going to say that's a big change because of, I remember we talked on the road and stuff, and you were saying that you were working with programmings and drum tracks and stuff
yeah.
like that. And so, yeah, yeah, but it's appropriate though to do this record showcasing your new guitar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I am so in love with this thing. I don't even know what we're gonna do for the cover yet, but that sexy guitar might be on it somewhere.
That'd be cool. Yeah, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. Okay, so um, we need to talk about the Red album.
Yeah.
So, and that's up and coming. So share with everybody about the Red album.
So it's a project that a bunch of us pagan musicians have gotten together and agreed to contribute a track to. Each of us is contributing a track, those who have signed on. Um, the entire project, the Red Album, it's the whole name of the album will be let me see if I can get this right. The Red Album, Pagan Voices for Reproductive Health. I think that's it. Or reproductive rights. Reproductive rights.
Reproductive
Um,
rights.
the entire album concept was a response to the very, very poor Roe v. Wade decision that came down last summer. And we, you know, we were all gut punched, I think. I certainly was. And we wanted to do something, and this is a way we've chosen, and there'll be more about this later on. I don't have all of the details yet, but we have chosen a beneficiary or two to receive the proceeds from this. Once we raise enough money to get this CD printed, then everything else is going to go straight to our beneficiaries. The artists are all volunteering their time.
Yes.
We have other people that are volunteering their time to help with the project in all of the myriad of ways that it takes to herd pagan musicians together into a Zoom room and make things happen and get
Yes.
us to agree on things and all of that. But I think it's going to be a very strong statement. I will tell you that I have not heard everybody's contributions yet, but I think we're all pretty pissed off, and it's reflected in some of the songs that I have heard. Mine is no exception, and I try not to write angry songs anymore. I'm just too old to have that much rage filling me up, and I don't want chest pains anymore. But I was pissed too, and it came out in my song. My song is called Revolution, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be very interesting, and I'm hoping that people will keep an ear to the ground for the Red album as it starts to get as information starts to get released. We're looking at a summer release date,
Yes.
and I'm really really excited about it. It's going to be an incredible project. I am proud to be on this project with a lot of really wonderful musicians and songwriters, and I'm just kind of stoked about the whole thing. So
Yeah. And tell us about the album cover, the artwork.
well, I don't know how much I can tell you yet because it hasn't been approved yet.
Okay.
So as we are speaking, um my son is working on the
Yes.
art. He's my graphic artist for my stuff, and he has been for a very long time. In fact, he was my graphic artist on my first solo release, Goddess Kissed. And
Nice.
he's been doing all of my album covers all of this time. He's a wonderful graphic artist. He's also just a wonderful artist in his own right, and he's volunteering his time to do the cover. So I can't tell you anything about the cover yet because we are waiting on some final approvals. But fingers
There's a
crossed.
good possibility.
Yeah, yeah. But
Good
fingers are
possibility.
crossed.
Yeah.
And
So,
Jesse has very kindly donated his time to doing this project as well as the graphics for any merchandising that we do.
Cool.
So you know, eh,
That's
he's one
awesome.
of my favorite people on the planet, and I'm glad that I get to work with him on a regular basis, and I'm glad that he's helping contribute to the Red Album.
Cool, cool. Okay, we're running pretty close to time.
Whoa.
Yeah, yeah. What else did I want to ask you? I think we pretty much covered everything that I really wanted to get out there. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. What, anything that you want to share that I haven't asked you?
MamaGinamusic.com,
Yes,
MAMAGINA,
yes.
MamaGinamusic.com. I have a Patreon page that's patreon.com/MamaGina.
Mm-hmm,
And I've got stuff out on Bandcamp as well, mamagina.bandcamp.com.
mm-hmm.
Folks can go out and listen to my music. And if they want to support the Bard, that's always a good thing. And they can find me in a myriad of ways online, but those are the three primary spots.
Is there uh, a vid or a song that you want us to tag on the end of this show?
Oh my goodness. You know what? There is, and I
Okay,
will
good.
bounce you the link. It's just I shouldn't say it's a lyric video for New Religion, which is one of the songs that I wrote uh at the tail end of COVID, looking for the bright side.
Okay.
And it features a whole lot of pagan voices in the chorus at the
Okay.
end. And so I will send you that link so that you can pop that up.
Okay, we will do that then. And yeah, anything else? Ginger? Here, I'm gonna
Yeah, Ginger, it's so good to see
Yay!
your face. How you
Oh,
doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Good.
Very busy.
Yes. We have for not working a lot over the last 3 years, we are all incredibly busy all of a sudden. Very
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
It's so good to see both of you. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Sue, for reaching out.
Sure. Yeah, we need to get you up here and spend some time in Cleveland. Yeah.
Indeed.
Do some work with you.
It would be wonderful.
Yeah, yeah. I'd love to do some work with you. It'd be great to get you up here and at least a couple songs.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And for real, it'd be cool. It'd be cool stuff.
We will make it happen.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. We're still rolling, so we're gonna say, hey, peace out. And
No burdens to bear, no crosses to burn, no catechismal haze for children to learn, no lands in the sand, the sands they have shifted, new ground to stand. Well, we are all lifted. Welcome to, I want to welcome you, yeah, to the new religion. No prayers for redemption, no original sin, no going back to where we have been.